Go over an inverted triangle. I've showed this before, but we haven't really covered it in depth yet. So it's easiest to get from either a sprawled out position or a snap down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step, and I'll try this on both sides because you'll need pieces on both sides. We step up, and almost like you're trying to hook the back of that elbow. You can place your foot on the ground too if you don't think you're bendy enough to do that. Either way, you get a hold of your shin. So you can see I'm grabbing my shin right here.
So you come and you're reaching through that side, okay, that side there, right. And you're grabbing with your right hand on your left shin, and there, right there, right at your ankle, isn't it?
Yep.
There we go.
Right
okay. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to pose over here and kind of sag my weight as I pull my foot around.
Okay.
Okay. And you'll notice this is still there. Wrap up, triangle, catch that shoulder, and as we go back, I can pull his arm back right into straight arm bar. So you've got a triangle and an arm bar.
We could just go right back for a straight juji, couldn't you, if you wanted to? You know.
Yeah. Some people are too bendy for that, but you can still do it just like that.
Now in Sambo, would the new rule changes in Sambo, would that overhook be allowed? That's what I was thinking of. I don't know if the overhook would be allowed or not. We'd have to have our Sambo people tell us, but
yeah,
more, you know,
probably have to ask
better up on the rules than I am. Yeah.
He'd know. I would say off the top of my head, probably not.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I say go with a juji, the straight pull. Yeah. Okay. Let's have you guys work on it, show it again, whatever you want to do, and let's just do some here.
All right. So pop through, slide back around, wrap that sucker up. If you did it all correctly, it's like basically sitting down with your legs crossed, just resting your arm there. Your foot should be able to come flat there, and then it's just a matter of squeezing your knees together to get the tap. If you get more like off the side here, and I'm kind of sagging down to show if I did it a little bit too quickly, I'm going to pull him over, and as I roll back on that hip, now I can connect it, catch behind that shoulder, and as I pull this back, you just bridge into the triangle.
That's a bit similar to what Vlad Kulikov was doing with his fanning arm lock to a degree, isn't it? Yeah. And I know the poor guy you're doing it on, Eric, is quite good at this, so we'll have him do some too here when the guys. So anything to add on that before we move on? I'll just video you guys drilling here. Or whatever.
Back to the bendy part. If you're having difficulties with that section of it, what we can do is we can actually come from the side for it. So in this instance, I'm going to reach through it and catch here.
Okay, now with your left hand, your hands are, okay, can you come again? So I want to show how you filter your right leg under the hole there. So
before I was right here and I was catching straight on. This time I'm going to come kind of 90 degrees through. I'm still going to put my foot up there, but this time I'm grabbing that forearm right there, almost like I'm sitting here like this, like sometimes seen in MMA, or if I'm getting ready to step over for a loop choke, but I can't quite get my hook in there. Okay, I can stick my foot through there, come around this side, and pull up. Generally speaking, that's a little bit easier to catch. Okay, again, I can just pull back this way. So if you're having issues with the straight-on version of it, try it from one side. Do a necktie variation of a triangle. So you're starting from a north-south type position.
Derek, you might want to speak up because they're talking.
I'm going to go ahead and step through the armpit, reach and grab my ankle. That's where the necktie part comes from. Then I pull it through as I sit down onto my butt, and then I control his hips so it doesn't roll. Okay? So step around, catch the ankle. Okay.
Now your ankle, let me see where you catch that, Derek. I'm coming through here. Let me get a better angle for the cameraman. There we go. So your left hand is grabbing your right ankle right there. So that's how you set it. You're pushing his arm out of the way so I can see. Yeah. Okay. So we've got that. All right.
Okay. As soon as you get the ankle, we're going to post.
Oh, I'll come back over to the other side. Sorry.
So we post over here. This is the beginning of our control of his hips. It also makes it a lot easier when you just pull that up and then sit back. Okay.
And by grabbing that hip, it really gives you an extra anchor to sit through.
It almost becomes like you're pulling them this way.
Okay, let's go ahead a little more normal speed. So we'll just let you start from there.
It's named after the sleeve. Okay. Soto. Okay.
And it's a real quick, sudden, unexpected setup for a Sankaku triangle choke from the top.
Most people would think it's a reverse triangle anyways, or that I'm going to turn them this way to go for it. Really, I just want to get through, get a hold of the ankle, and then spin.
And a lot of people think they have to really roll, and sometimes you do for some of the great triangle setups we got from that position, but this one you don't. It's basically, it's like you say, it's a necktie. And show us again, and
okay, again, you'll notice if you can cross your legs when you're sitting down in a chair, it's the same movement. You don't need to be very bendy to get this move. Okay, I keep it right there, lace it up.
and there's no roll really needed. You know, the weight distribution is you're just sitting on your, actually in your case now, your left hip the last time. Okay, can you show it from that same direction again? So when you roll it in and you extend that, and it helps reach through, get that with the right hand through, reaches, okay, good, and you just pull it through, really. And it sits you on your left buttocks, and now you try over.
And you just triangle.
And that's a nice setup. So that's really the, it's a necktie triangle from the top, basically top ride position, Sankaku Jime. You talk about, so you're rolling your head through the right side toward your right. So if you've got the yeah, rolling to the right, I think, yeah. There you go. That's what you were talking about, Mike. Yeah, like we call the Polish whizzer, you put your head through the hole. And that momentum really cinches it in super tight. Try it again. That's a cool move. So there we go. That's it. Roll it through, and the momentum.
Like a failed single shot, someone shoots in for a single leg and misses it. Oftentimes they'll trap you. They'll still have your leg. And what I want to do is shoot it for a single here. Get them on their knees. So I break them down. What I want to do is step over here and trap. So I'm just controlling 2 points here when I'm stepping around. I step under here. I just grab my ankle. When I grab my ankle, I am isolating his head and his arm right here. And then I'm just going to do a simple shoulder roll.
So your left arm is grabbing your right ankle.
My left arm is grabbing my right ankle. If he shoots for my right leg, I control the 2 points, drive his head into the mat, step around, get that other hook, grab my ankle, and then shoulder roll. Once I shoulder roll, it's pretty tight. It's real tight, real quick. So I'm just here, I finish here, and that's it. Single, control the 2 points, step around, get the other hook in, grab my ankle, shoulder roll. And another little pointer I like to do, if a guy's real strong, use this back foot to like lever. Okay, so once you overhook here, roll this around, and just put it as close to their head as you possibly can. The furthest I go, the tighter this is.
The tighter it is, the tighter the try. Guys, these leg chokes in the Sankaku type series is a great example. These are called Sankaku Jime. Sankaku means triangle, 3 corners. Jime means to squeeze together, the pincer movement. Well, that's exactly what you're doing with your legs on this guy's neck. So this is a classic Jime, where it's a pincer type movement or a triangle movement, trapping him. Roll him. So should you take, when he shoots in there and you push him down, you control that head, and you make your spin. At what point is the best time do you think, Mike, when you want to grab your own with your left hand on your right ankle? When?
As soon as I establish that hook, I don't like to give up any point of control until I've got the second.
You want the second hook in first.
Second hook over. I've got 2 points of contact. 2 points of contact. And I can hold them. And so then I'm just driving my hand across. This is all. You can even post if you want to, but I really don't even bother. Just roll over. And I bring it real deep as soon as possible, and you can actually even switch this up. Go for the this little lean arm bar here.
All right, everybody good on that? And let's break that. I'll tell you. Let's start it when the guy, like, pretend you did a failed shoot. So start it with one guy down, already down. Well, no, don't just hug. Just, yeah, like he's grabbed. So he's grabbed your ankle and he's tried it. Okay, so that's where we'll start this move. That's a good way to break it down to start it. And as you get better at it, you can actually have him shoot in and try to get it. But let's start with that basic premise where he's grabbed your with the right hand on his right hand on your right ankle, isn't it? Yeah. And you spin around and catch it and catch the roll. And you can see how he finishes out there. Okay. Bad lighting for everybody watching us on the video here, but we'll try to get it for you. Okay, let's give that a try, guys.
What we were doing before was head on the outside. So what happens if the guy sticks his head on the inside? Okay. So we're still going to go for a triangle. It's just going to be slightly different. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and catch my leg on this side. Okay.
So your left hand will be catching your right ankle.
Right.
I see it.
Right. And vice versa if he's going after the other leg.
Right.
Okay. And then I'm going to post, hold this leg up, and as we roll over, see how I still have my hand? Catch right there, inverted triangle. So one more time, he shoots in. Okay. Crouch down, catch my shin. Post if you have to, but honestly you don't really have to. Pull. Catch. Squeeze. Okay. To finish from there, if you don't feel you quite have it, okay, I'm going to roll. Catch here, get his waist, and then just pull his waist and bridge into him. So hold on nice and tight, and then just push your hips in.
And a lot of people think that's like a really fancy way. It's actually just a good survival mode way of doing it, but total control by grabbing him and tight waisting. That's basically what you're doing. You're really controlling his whole trunk of his body. And from the shoulders onto the hips.
I've had times where guys were a little bit higher up on the single, like right here, and I'll catch their waist like this, and then just come in. And then if I have to adjust.
But you've established control with the roll.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're holding onto the waist, even if he's up nice and high, it's hard for him to get you anywhere if we're here. And if we keep
drag him out,
his head up and toss me over that way, that's even better. Okay. So if you're not comfortable using your feet like that, reach down and grab the shin again, bring it up. Okay? Good?
Yeah, that's what Mike was pointing out before. Don't be afraid of adjusting your control. And don't grab your toes. And like Mike, you pointed out, put the foot, the top of the foot where the laces would be on the inside of your knee. Right. On the back of your knee.
And really all you need with triangles is to get your legs crossed. Okay, once you get used to using the shin to reposition, if your feet are crossed and you've got one arm in, you've got what you need. You just grab and adjust when you have the time, okay? Don't rush it. Rush to get your feet crossed. After that, you're home free, okay? If he starts wiggling around and trying to get out of it, you grab the shin, and then from there, all it is just readjusting. It doesn't matter what position you're in, all right? Okay.
I would also, if you cross your legs wrong on the initial one from the guard, you want to make sure not uncross and grab your shin if you're going to readjust and recross your legs to go to the other side. If you get put on top.
Yeah, good points. It's kind of a reverse upside down Sankaku. And again, Derek's coming from the top, forming a triangle. Now, Mike on the bottom doesn't want any part of that. He's going to break it open and try to stand up. Well, Derek stays with it and rolls him over and finishes it with his own triangle. Let's look at that again. We'll come from a back view. Guys, start from the same position. I'll just come from a back view. So Mike, turn around the other way. So we'll come around so you can see what Derek's doing here. He comes in with a Sankaku. Mike stands up. Derek stays with him. He forms his own Sankaku, and he can end up in a nice pin situation, but he's formed the triangle. We've seen this in MMA also. It's an upside down triangle. The first I really saw it done years ago at the US Open in Judo. But then again, if you look at the book Jime Ura by Kashiwazaki in the Masterclass series, he has this in the book. So it's really a kind of an upside down triangle choke, Sankaku. And you can see the bottom man tries to stand up. He stays with it, and he just keeps rolling, and he just ends up in an upside down triangle. So it's a fun move to do. It actually has been done in competition on an international level, so I know it works. And there we have it. And a little bit of a weird move, but sometimes weird works. But the idea is once you form the triangle and he tries to bust it open by standing up and going through it, the top man doing it stays with it, and he finishes with his own triangle. There we have it.